Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your Bhavadharani. In this video, I'm going to talk about the topic incremental model process, which comes under the course software engineering and project management. So before moving into the topic, what is software engineering? Software engineering is the discipline of designing, creating, deploying and maintaining the software application and system by applying the engineering principles. It involves a systematic approach to software development encompassing techniques, tools, methodologies and best practices to ensure the reliability, efficiency, maintainability and security of software products. Key aspects of software engineering include the requirements analysis, design, coding, testing, deployment and maintenance, which is aimed at delivering high quality software solutions that meet user needs and business objectives. Software engineering is a systematic application of engineering principles to the design, development, deployment and the maintenance of software system. It involves a structured approach to the software development beginning with the requirement gathering and analysis, which is followed by the software design, implementation, testing and deployment phases. Throughout this process, software engineering apply a rigorous methodologies such as agile or waterfall model to manage the projects efficiently and ensure the software quality. The discipline emphasizes not only the technical aspects of the coding and software architecture but also the importance of the collaboration, communication and continuous improvement. Software engineers utilizes tools and techniques to streamline development process and enhance the productivity, aiming to deliver the requirements. Ethics and professionalism play a crucial role as engineering must consider the ethical implications of the design and prioritize the integrity and safety of the system that they develop. Project management in a software engineering refers to a disciplined approach of planning, organizing, managing and controlling the resource to achieve the specific software development goals within the constraints such as time, cost and scope. It involves the applications of methodologies and techniques to initiate, plan, execute, monitor and close software projects effectively. Key aspects include defining project objectives, identifying the requirement, allocating resources, scheduling tasks, managing risk, communication and engagement throughout the project lifecycle. So till now we just studied what is the definitions of software engineering and project management. Under the subject we're going to discuss deeply about the topic incremental model process. First, a simple working system implementation, only a few basic features is built and then that is delivered to the customer. And then thereafter, many successive iterations or versions are implemented and delivered to the customer until the desired system is released. A, B and C are the modules of software products that are incrementally developed and delivered. So as you can see in the PPT, there are three modules of software, that is A, B and C, which are incrementally developed and delivered. Phases of incremental model. The phases of incremental model includes requirement analysis, design and development, deployment and testing, and the last one is implementation. Requirement in analysis. In a requirement analysis, at any time the plan is made just for the next increment and not for any kind of long-term plan. Therefore, it is easier to modify the version as per the needs of the customer. Design and development. At any time, the plan is made just for the next increment and not for any kind of long-term plan. Therefore, it is easier to modify the version as per the needs of the customer. The development team first undertake to develop core features of the system. Once the core features are fully developed, then these are refined to increase levels of capabilities by adding a new functions in successive versions. Each incremental version is usually developed using an iterative waterfall model of development. Deployment and testing. After requirement gathering and specification, requirements are then split into several different versions, starting with version 1. In each successive increment, the next version is constructed and then developed at the customer site. In development and testing, the product is checked and tested for the actual process of the model. Implementation. In implementation, after the last version, that is version N, it is now deployed at the client site. So phases of incremental model you can see in the flowchart. The first one is requirement, then design and development, testing and implementation. Types of incremental model. So basically there are two types of incremental model, that is stage delivery model and parallel development model. Stage delivery model, construction of only one part of the project at a time. Parallel development model, different subsystems are developed at the same time. It can decrease the calendar time needed for the development, that is TTM, that is time to market, if enough resources are available. When to use the incremental process model. Funding schedule, risk, program complexity, when requirements are known upfront, when projects have lengthy development schedules, project with new technology, error reduction, core models are used by the customer from the beginning of the phase and then these are tested thoroughly, uses the divide and conquer for a breakdown of tasks, lowers initial delivery cost, incremental resource deployment. Requires good planning and design. The total cost is not lower, well-defined module interfaces are required. Advantages of the incremental process model. Prepare the software test. It prepares the software test. Clients have a clear idea of the project. Changes are easy to implement. Provide risk handling support because of its iterations. Adjusting the criteria and scope is flexible and less costly. Comparing these models to others, it is less expensive. The identification of error is simple. Disadvantages of that incremental process model are a good team and proper plan executions are required. If not, the process model will get dismissed. Because of its continuous iteration, the cost increases. Issues may arise from the system design if all the needs are not gathered upfront throughout the program life cycle. Every iteration step is distinct and does not flow into the next. It takes a lot of time and effort to fix an issue in one unit if it needs to be corrected in all the units. Characteristics of incremental process model. System development is divided into several smaller projects. To create a final complete system, partial systems are constructed one after the other. Priority requirements are addressed first. The requirements for that increment are frozen once they are created. In this model, the entire project is divided into the multiple phases and each phase produces a portion of the software functionality. Unlike a traditional waterfalls method where each phase is completed sequentially, the incremental allows for the parallel development and for different parts of the software. Moreover, the incremental development promotes a frequent interaction between the developers and stakeholders, fostering a collaborative environment and improving the overall project visibility. It also facilitates early identification of issues or defects which can be addressed promptly in the subsequent increments. Overall, the incremental process model in the software engineering and project management emphasizes the flexibility, iterative improvement, and incremental delivery of the software functionality, leading to more adaptive and responsive development processes. Conclusion. In conclusion, the incremental process model stands as a versatile and adaptive approach within the both software engineering and project management. By breaking down the software development into manageable increment, it fosters earlier and continuous delivery to components, thereby enhancing the stakeholders' collaboration and feedback. Ultimately, the incremental model process represents a pragmatic framework that supports the delivery of high-quality software solutions that align closely with the customer needs and business goals. Thank you.